A week from today, Pope Francis arrives here in Washington on the first leg of his U.S. apostolic journey. Wyatt Goolsby recently talked with a Vatican expert about the Holy Father's unique leadership style.
John Thavis, Vatican journalist and author, joins us now. You've covered the papacies of both John Paul II and Benedict XVI. From a leadership standpoint, compare and contrast the two. How is Pope Francis different?
Pope Francis combines the leadership qualities, I think, of a CEO in some ways and a pastor. Okay. The public knows him as a pastor because he is so down to earth, so direct in his language and communication, and so caring about people. He's a people person. But he's also an executive. And by that I mean that to date, Pope Francis has shown a great ability to bring people around, consult with people, including other bishops and cardinals and even Vatican officials, and then make his own decision. And we have seen this time after time. He issues what is called a motu proprio, which means in Latin, on one's own initiative, and these are the equivalent at the Vatican of the executive order. He has used this, for example, recently to change the annulment procedures. Mm-hmm. He has used this to set up tribunals, to set up brand new Vatican agencies that have great powers. So he listens, he waits, and then he makes a decision. And when that decision comes down, there are people who say, wow, he did that in a relatively short time.
You have a new book out, obviously we're talking to you about today, The Vatican Prophecies. Give us a brief overview of that.
The Vatican Prophecies is about investigating supernatural signs, apparitions, and miracles in the modern age. And I wrote it because I think this is an area of Catholicism that a lot of people don't really know very well. For 30 years, I saw the Vatican kind of wrestling with a lot of these issues. Which apparitions are real, are worthy of respect? What miracles can be validated, which ones cannot? To what extent is exorcism a real ministry in the modern day and age? And it's a serious issue, and yet it's one that is often treated with a kind of flippancy in the mainstream media. So I wanted to write a serious book about how the Vatican goes about investigating these things and how it really balances what we have in the church, which is a church of reason and a church of miracles.
And certainly they're topics that people are interested in, certainly, but it's nice to have someone specify the difference between Hollywood perspective on that and actually what the church teaches.
That's exactly right. And I find more and more that what the Vatican wants to do is move away from the Hollywood and theatrical and spectacular aspects of miracles and promote a wider understanding of miracles because, miracles probably happen every day. We just don't see them. And I think the Vatican wants people to be aware of that and perhaps to notice them more.
John Thavis, Vatican journalist and author, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.